Hey gang, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. How's everybody doing? It's good to see you guys. This is our second show of the day. Well, we've done about 640, I think, in the entire series thus far, but this is Double Lovely Day. We had a great guest earlier today. For those of you watching, Paul Byram from Ireland was with us, the Irish classical crossover tenor and actor and so much more. That was cool. And now we've got another great guest lined up for you too, coming to us live and direct from New York City. Yes, Brian Charette is here. He's an acclaimed jazz pianist. He's a critically acclaimed band leader, composer, and he's extraordinary on the Hammond organ. Yes, he is amazing. Comes to us live from New York. How's everybody doing? Great to see you guys. Hey, we haven't toasted in a while, so we figured we'd get a little fancy again. We toast you and you and you and you. And welcome. I always, again, feel like I should be in church blessing everybody. But how's everybody doing? Hope you're having a good day. Very nice. It's always nice and tasty to have a little something in the beginning there to kick things off. Hope you guys are doing well. And we see a lot of comments built up here. You can comment live at any point during the show in chat if you want. You can also comment on the YouTube channel. Hey, gang, we invite you to do that. Matter of fact, while you're there, we would love it if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is the one you're watching right now, Jim Masters TV. Give it some lovity, some Jameis lovity. Subscribe if you haven't. Be sure and click that notification bell too. When you click the notification bell, it alerts you every time we have these episodes, like two on today's roster, which is really cool. And also, if you'd like to comment live in chat as the show is on live, any of the shows, make sure you subscribe, because that's a gift we give our subscribers, the ability to be a part of our live chat as the show is broadcasting live around the world. So make sure you do that, and we would love it. Don't forget, we also have Super Chat, Super Emoji, Super Stickers. That happens in chat too. It helps support the series and all that other fun stuff. Busy day today with our earlier show. I also had a television shoot today and 4 radio shows. So it's crazy, but we love it all. And I see lots of comments coming in. Gang, we're going to take a look at the comments. Of course, that's coming from our JMS Lovity Squad. Those are our viewers who watch our series, which is just about every single day live with these epic shows and the guests coming in from all walks of life. Very excited to welcome here for the very first time, and I'm sure not the last, extraordinary musician, composer, Brian Charette. He has established himself as a leading voice in modern jazz. He really, really is incredible. He is a Hammond USA IK multimedia and Casio endorsed steeplechase, Housatone, and Cellar live recording artist. You thought I did a lot of stuff. He was the winner of the 2014 Downbeat Critics Poll Rising Star Organ, and that fabulous award, 2015 Hot House Magazine's Fans Decision Jazz Award for Best Organist. This year, he coveted the 3rd place in 2021's Downbeat Critics Poll as well. And he has released, originally we thought 19 albums, now some 21 albums. Prolific producer as well, many of which have been featured in Jazz Week and iTunes Top 20. Brian has released the solo electronica recording Like the Sun, the 3rd music for organ sextet release, Power from the Air. Both have received rave reviews, with Power from the Air getting 4 stars in Downbeat, which is awesome. And touring, of course, with Joey DeFrancesco and his own groups as well, and recording a new album for Cellar Live at Rudy Van Gelder's with Bill Stewart, Corey Weeds, and Ed Cherry, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, his background is extraordinary. He's been doing this for a long time. He's originally from New England, from Connecticut, and he was introduced to music by his mother, Catherine. And by age 17, he was playing with jazz luminaries such as Lou Donaldson and Houston Person. And since graduating on the Dean's List from the University of Connecticut in 94, the BA in music, he has been performing extensively in Europe and USA, with the home base being where he is right now in his home studio there in East Village, New York City. He's a staple of the downtown New York City scene, with virtually everyone who plays with an organist, and he's a critically acclaimed composer as well and band leader. He's performed with many notable artists, gang, such as Joni Mitchell and Chaka Khan, Paul Simon, Cyndi Lauper, and many, many others. He's also an active author and educator as well, writing for Keyboard Magazine, the New York City Jazz Record, Downbeat, electronic musician, and many, many others. He teaches lessons and classes at the New School and 92nd Y School of Music. And his first book, 101 Hammond B3 Tips, released through publisher Hal Leonard, has become very popular, as well as his videos on his website, mymusicmasterclass.com. It's really cool to have him here on the show. That's just a little bit of the background. He's got an extensive background that goes even deeper than that, gang. But why don't we take a moment to welcome him live and direct from the East Village in New York City. Our guest, Brian Charette, is here. He's going to play music for us, too. We got some cool videos, and he's going to play live. So you're in for a musical treat and a musical night here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Brian, welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us, my friend.
Hey, Jim, what an intro. My God.
And that was just the shortened version.
The very glamorous bio in the very unglamorous East Village apartment.
Well, how you been doing? I mean, you've been really keeping busy. I mentioned the 21 albums, which is unbelievable. But during this crazy pandemic and everything that's been going on, you've been very busy through it all. You found ways to just stay connected and collaborative and creative, huh?
Well, luckily, when the gigs were not happening, I was able to teach a lot, which I was doing before. But when the pandemic started, a lot of people wanted to take music lessons with their unemployment check, I guess.
Yes.
So I actually had more students than I've ever had, basically in the spring of the pandemic in 20. So that was 2020, spring of 2020 already.
Yeah.
So I was
2 years
teaching
ago.
a lot. I was very fortunate to be able to teach and to get unemployment at the same time, because I was teaching under a certain amount of hours. You would claim your hours, everybody that had unemployment. So, and I wasn't losing thousands of dollars on my music career. So it was easy to, I think if you were someone who taught lessons, especially over Zoom, that was a very good thing to do during the pandemic, because you could do it and be in each other's homes, so you weren't in danger of spreading germs or whatever, obviously.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's great that you've had an opportunity to stay busy and creative during what has been.
It was very lucky. It was very lucky.
So you got started in Connecticut, and your mother, Catherine, was quite an influence. Tell us about the earlier years for you, really getting a taste of music and falling in love with it and wanting to create it and do it in the way that you do it so well.
Well, my mother is a very good pianist. She was not a professional pianist. Both my parents were school teachers. And I was kind of a studious kid. We had a piano in my house. And at a very early age, I would just start walking down to the piano and playing it all day long. So my mother saw that I liked the piano, and she showed me a few things, and I started to take lessons when I was pretty young, maybe when I was 7 or 8. I wasn't in love with studying piano at first, but I got better at it and became interested when I got into my teens. Hi, Toby. When I got into my teens, I was playing in bands, and I started to play guitar and bass too, which I was really interested in. And I actually started to work in music when I was about 15. I started to play gigs with people, with like actually quite a few bands. And it kind of just, I'm kind of doing the same thing I'm doing then. I'm kind of doing the same thing now in a way.
Let's describe the work and what you do. I mean, there's so many titles tied to you: acclaimed jazz pianist, Hammond organist extraordinaire, composer, band leader. Of all the different things, is there any one thing that resonates with you the deepest and first? I mean, I know piano, like you said, was the very first thing that touched you.
I basically, the biggest thing that I do is I play music on instruments with keys, meaning piano and Hammond organ, mostly for me, but I also use synthesizers. But professionally, if I'm working in music, I'm usually doing that. My albums are mostly playing the Hammond organ, but I was originally a pianist, and I still play piano. I played piano and keyboards for some of those pop acts that you mentioned.
Yeah.
I basically play keyboard instruments. That's mostly what I do.
So what was the early break for you? If you were to look back at this career that has just continued to blossom, my friend, what was that early on break that happened that sort of opened the door for you and then allowed more opportunities and work to come your way?
Well, when I got into college, it was a period in jazz music called the Young Lions period. Have you ever heard of this?
Sure,
This
yeah.
is where a lot of young people like Brad Meldau were getting signed to recording contracts. The Marsalis family, hi Sherry, the Marsalis family was also becoming very popular, and there was a big resurgence of jazz music. So I actually had a lot of work when I was a kid. I grew up in the Hartford area and was playing with groups there. And
What were you playing? What kind of music? What
I was
was
playing jazz. I was playing all sorts of different music. And
yeah.
also in those days, you know, these tribute bands, like bands that sound like this band or that.
Oh yeah.
This
Yep.
actually comes from Connecticut. This is where these things first were coming out. And
Yeah.
I was in a bunch of those kinds of bands, and there was a lot of work for that kind of music. I just had a lot of work playing keyboards and the piano when I was young. And I was friendly with an agent named Bruce Feiner, who would book some jazz clubs, and I got to play with some of these big name jazz people who were coming between New York and Boston when I was very young, 16, 17.
Yeah.
And by the time I had graduated from college, I was 21.
Yeah.
I was already going to tour in Europe. It was never a question of like, what do I do for my living? You know,
What was that like touring in Europe in your early
it was amazing.
20s? That had to be
Well, it was
every
amazing. Remember,
guy's dream.
The wall comes down in 1989 too, right? So
Yes, the Berlin Wall. Yes.
I was deep into Eastern Europe, and I remember being in a small city in Central Europe, and I took a Sony video camera out, which had the little tapes, and nobody had ever seen that before.
Yeah, the little mini.
So there was a lot of
high 8 tapes. Those little high 8 tapes. Yeah.
High 8, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie either. I had a weakness for the ladies in those countries, and that was terrific experience, I would have to say, looking back on it. And I fell in love with the culture. It's actually how I moved to New York. I was in tour in the Czech Republic with an artist named Latsodeci. I was watching a video of the group play on a late night show. The show's host was named Bolek Polivka. Bolek Polivka. It means
cool name.
it means something soup in Czech. I don't know what the first word means, but he's a comedic actor.
Yeah.
He's incredible. And the gentleman that was playing the piano with this group would become my first roommate in New York. So I said to Latsodeci, who was the leader of this group who played trumpet, who was actually in jail with Havel. So we would play concerts for Havel, you know, and I've never played for a president of this country. And Havel was arguably the most beloved Czech president in recent memory. So this guy was rolling pretty hard over there, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
In 1968, Soviets came into the Czech Republic. They were in jail together, so they were very close friends. And Havel was I think a playwright as well, or a poet. So I saw this video of a guy playing the piano. I'm like, who is that guy? I had just graduated from college. He gave me his number. He said he lives in New York City. I said, I want to move to New York City. When I got back from the tour, I called the guy, and I was living in the East Village. And we lived in the building on the cover of Physical Graffiti. Do you know that Led Zeppelin record from '70?
Sure. Oh,
So
yeah.
we lived in that building, which is one of my favorite records. And I would stare at the cover, all day long. Maybe I manifested it into my existence.
You've willed it. Yes.
I'm not sure if that's the way it works, but I definitely stared at that album cover, and then I was living behind one of the windows. So that's how I came to live in New York.
Yeah.
And just being here, I actually, at this point, didn't play organ at all. I had only been playing keyboards and piano. When I came to New York, I started to play Hammond organ in Harlem. And
Wow.
people in the scene of music knew me as a Hammond organist. They never even heard me play the piano. So to these, till now, most of the people I play piano with knew me before I was 21.
Isn't that incredible? I mean, that's
It's a pretty wild story.
Yeah, it really, really is. So New York's been very good to you. I know you also have a real love for the West Coast, and you and I were talking about it before we went live. You really love LA and the LA area, and you just got back, actually. One of our mutual friends who was a guest on the show recently, who also gives his regards, Robbie Robinson, of course.
Yeah, Robbie was there at my LA.
Frankie Valli's music director. Matter of fact, when I was talking to Robbie today, I was mentioning he knew that you were going to be on, and he had been in a rehearsal at that time with Frankie Valli because they're getting ready to wind things up
Frankie
and get
Valli
out
is
there.
A killer. He's incredible.
Yes.
Is he 84 or
88?
He sounds amazing. During the pandemic, they did a version of Grease with the band. Did you see that?
Yes.
It was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible. And the drummer from that band is my very good friend, Andy Sinisi, too.
Now, you also play flute and guitar, too, not just the organ, piano.
I mean,
and
not really.
Huh? A little bit?
Did Toby say that?
Sure.
Yeah. I play the flute, but I don't really play the flute. Will you tell me? It's kind of bad flute. I can play the flute badly.
Autumn in New York?
A lot of time I teach on my computer, and my piano is a little ways from the screen. So a lot of times when I'm teaching, I'm like David Carradine,
Yeah. Was that a little Autumn in New York you were playing?
That song is called Panonica.
It sounds like Autumn in New York.
That one would be...
Yeah, exactly. See, now that comes through really nice. From
Autumn in New York, written by a Czech composer, Vernon Duke. The name was shortened.
Now, you have a relationship because, you're on the faculty of the Czech Summer Jazz Workshop at Jesuit Conservatory in Prague, and you've written for the magazine Musicus as well.
Yes.
Tell us about all that. What is the connection? Is there a
with
nationality connection in your family?
So from the years where I would go with Lotso Deci to the Czech Republic, years later, I went back there on tour with him and with my own groups. And the Czech Prague is an incredible city. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't been to that one. I'd love to go.
It's to me the best city in the world.
Yeah.
I would say it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And there's not tons and tons of people, but there's a very great arts scene.
Yeah.
And it's kind of where I would set up shop when I would be in Europe. And I would be in the Czech Republic, and I could go easily to Germany. I could go easily to Hungary. And I was living there with some of my girlfriends were Czech. So I was living in the city in different places at different times. And I just started working with the summer jazz program and with that conservatory. And I met the gentleman who ran this magazine, Musicus. And I spent a lot of time there. Basically, 10 years ago, I was in I was there half the time, like 10 years ago.
Wow, that's great. Your work, has it given you opportunities to do a lot of travel?
Yeah, I basically, if I can book a gig or a clinic in a place, I can go there, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm actually trying to travel a little less right now. I've actually, the whole fall, I traveled a lot. And it was very difficult to be traveling during COVID. I was in Europe the whole month of October.
Wow.
You needed very special entry forms,
Oh,
and I would
yeah.
have the mobile COVID tests all the time. Um, I must have had 20 COVID tests in October.
Hmm.
I was in Switzerland, Canada. Canada was actually very difficult to get into.
Yeah.
And I was in Hungary, the Czech Republic, and Spain.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I've kind of cooled it out a little bit because traveling in Europe is not super easy right now. And yeah.
And you work with, you and I were chatting, you work with several different labels as well. Tell us about some of the work that you do on a regular basis.
Well, I've basically, in the last 15 years, recorded mostly for 2 labels, and I just started recording for another one. I've played for other recording labels, but I've done a lot of work for the Steeplechase recording label, which is from Denmark, and Positone, which is in LA, and now Cellar Live from Vancouver. So I've recorded quite a few. I basically recorded half of my recordings for Positone and half of them for Steeplechase, and I've been on many recordings as a sideman for other artists.
Who are some of the artists, as you were coming up the ranks, that you've always admired, that inspired you along the way, Brian?
I was very into Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Because he's terrific at playing piano. He also is very into electronics. These are the people that I'm the most into. I was actually really into Keith Emerson from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. He was a very big influence. I also love this progressive music. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, yes. Rick Wakeman. I loved all of the weird synthesizers. I like Weather Report a lot, Joe Zawinul. Those, I would say, are the people that I most was into.
And you're doing a lot of studio work as well now?
I do 1 or 2 albums of my own a year. My last album was recorded at Rudy Van Gelder's, where all the Blue Note recordings were made. So that was pretty amazing to be there.
Yeah.
And I played that organ, which is on all of those famous Jimmy Smith, Larry Young Blue Note recordings. It's the same instrument. So that was pretty witchy. That's going to be the next record coming out for Cellar Live. And Bill Stewart plays drums, who is plays with John Scofield and plays with Larry Goldings. He's a very highly revered drummer, so that was very special to have him in the group. And it looks really good. I really love the aesthetic of this record company. The gentleman that runs it, Corey Weeds, also plays great tenor saxophone. And it's actually a very inside sounding jazz album. A lot of my albums can be very frisky. They can be kind of on the edge almost of what's, I don't want to say acceptable, but it's definitely pushing the boundaries. And this one is very traditional, which I don't really have. I have kind of one traditional record that I made with George Coleman, who actually played in the second Miles Davis quintet. And he's a very traditional jazz player. So that album is traditional. But this is basically the second album I've had that is kind of what I would call traditional organ trio, quartet music.
Do you slide into smooth jazz at all?
I would say no. I would say the electronic music almost sounds like that sometimes, but I have percolating electronics. The genres, all of this music, you kind of have to stay within a certain framework sometimes in these genres. Yeah. And my music is a little too angular to be considered smooth jazz, maybe.
Yeah, that's cool. We want to give people a sample. We have a video here. Actually, we have several, and you're going to play live too on the piano. But we've got some I've really enjoyed when we were building the episode today, producing it. Really listening to this, I was very familiar with your work and your incredible, immeasurable talent. But some of these videos are fantastic too. Tell us about the one we're going to see. We'll kick it off with you, and it's Jojo Mayor.
Jojo's a very interesting drummer. I think he lives in Switzerland now, but he was around New York a lot. And he is kind of considered to be a foremost expert in live drum and bass music, which I was very, very into. The program versions of this music come from London, I would say. Aphex Twin, Square Pusher were some of the big artists. And Jojo kind of does this live. And he also played in a very popular New York City band in the 90s called Screaming Headless Torsos. Have you ever heard of them?
No, I haven't.
They were a great band. Maybe it was Dave Fuzinski on guitar. And yeah, they were a very popular band. That's how I met him, and I knew him for years. And I wanted to do a duo recording together because I loved how he played the drums, and I loved to play the organ and the electronics with him. So that's what we're doing here.
Fantastic. Let's give it a listen. If you haven't heard Brian's work yet, gang, you're going to be a new fan immediately. Got a lot of good music for you and more conversation coming up. You're watching the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series, bringing back that lost art of conversation. Don't forget to share that JMS Lovity. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, gang. Thanks for all the great comments coming in live. We love it.
I should maybe answer the comments too at a point. I can see them, but I can't keep up with everything.
Oh, don't worry about that. Yeah, we had one guest where it totally threw them off because they were concentrating on that. Don't worry about it. We'll show some of them, and we're weaving.
I do draw and paint, Jen. I'm very minimalist. I love watercolor and oil.
Jen will be happy now that she knows that. She's probably going to ask you another question that she asks the guests. Are you a mountain person or an ocean person? I grew up on the Long Island coast, and I'm along the coast here in southern New England. You are
I grew up on a mountain, but I am an ocean person.
You're an ocean guy. That's it.
Like, you know, Santa Monica Pier kind of person. Santa
Monica's nice. The last time I was in Santa Monica, I was on a TV shoot in Los Angeles. I was interviewing a doctor, and it was a really cool shoot. And I caught up with a friend who's also a film producer. And he said, I want to take you to Santa Monica for lunch. And it says, I want to take you to this place called the Ivy. Did you go to the Ivy?
I don't know the Ivy.
It's a really cool place. I mean, it's really beautiful. It's right across from, it's on the beach, right across from where the amusement park is and everything. But I guess it's the place where a lot of the Hollywood celebs go to eat. And there's a definite unspoken rule. You do not bother anybody because the waiter will come over and tap people. Do not bother. I believe that day Dennis Quaid was dining a couple of tables over. It was really just the food is here. We're giving him a plug. Ivy, you should be a sponsor, but it's a really cool place in Santa Monica, and it was packed. Yeah, reservations required, but it was really, really tasty. Speaking of tasty, my friend, we've got some tasty music coming up here with you and Jojo. Cool. Let's give it a listen, gang. And we'll continue as our special guest live from the East Village of NYC. Brian Charette is with us here live. Here we go. Very cool, my friend. Very cool. When that happens, are you in a zone? Are you transported? I know a lot of people say they're transported to a totally different place when they're doing what they love to do so
As soon
well.
as I touch the key, all
Yeah,
of the voices stop.
they do. That's it. It's all bets are off. Exactly. That's cool. He is an incredible drummer, huh?
He's a great drummer, yeah.
Do you guys get to work together often, or
Well,
was
we do. You know, he lives in Switzerland now, so it's a little bit tougher. He actually works very much with Brian Eno, I think, now. So he's very in demand and very busy. Um, you know, we're friends. We've known each other for years. Every once in a while, we end up on something together, which is always, terrific.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Really, I tell you, really fantastic. As Toby said, great drummer here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got another video we want to show everybody. Got some really cool music here we want to share that I think everybody is going to continue to enjoy. The sound is very addicting. You know, what's really cool is I still hear it in my head, and that's
Well, the organ is kind of a strange instrument. You know, it's got this witchy,
yeah, yeah.
snaky, snake charmer kind of thing to it. You know.
It does, absolutely does. You know what else does it for me too? We've had a couple of guests that are into cello. Cello is another one that when I hear it, it cuts right to the heart. You know, the
Sure.
melancholy, deep sound of the
Sure.
cello. There's another one that just stops traffic.
Even the way you hold it, you know, you're basically holding it with your entire body, your legs, and you're wrapped. I mean, it's a very physical instrument, you know.
Yeah, shaped like a body. And I interviewed not on this show, but a professional worker, Juilliard grad who was a cellist. And I
Uh,
said, you know, for me, whenever I hear the sound of the cello, it sort of mimics the sound of what the human heart would sound like if it sounded like an instrument. He
uh,
said that makes total sense because it's one of the instruments closest in sound to the human voice.
mhm.
And that's why you're humanizing it in the way that you do and giving it this sort of warm, authoritative, melancholy
Yeah.
power to that instrument,
Mhm.
shaped, you know, sort of like a
Sure.
human as well.
Yeah.
It's a great sound. Trio 624. This is another great one. Brian Charette Trio. Let's talk
This
about
is
that one.
basically more jazz. This is you could say that last music was electronic with funk.
Yeah,
This
right.
is kind of a pure organ trio that was popularized in the 50s by people like Jimmy Smith.
Yes.
And it's guitar, organ, and drums, and no electronics. And this is what I would call traditional organ trio setting.
All right,
With a piece
gang.
that I wrote.
This is yours. This is something that is
Yeah.
yours. So the last
And this
piece
is
we
a
heard.
positone. This is actually from a positone. No, it's not from a positone recording session, but this is the studio that I recorded all of my positone albums in. This one coming up.
And where's that studio?
It's called Acoustic Recording. It's in Brooklyn.
It's in
I
Brooklyn.
think it's on Sterling. Maybe it's called Sterling Place. Very
Cool.
very good recording studio. A lot of people make jazz records there.
Taking you to Brooklyn, USA, gang, by way of Brian Charette. Brian Charette Trio 624. Here we go. That's really nice, my friend. That's really, really nice.
I like it too. I usually don't watch them all.
Yeah, you don't, huh? But
Well, I don't really listen to my albums, or I'm so busy working on whatever the next thing is that I'm not. Sometimes I forget what even happened.
there's a couple of people. I think Johnny Depp was one quoted as saying the same thing as far as they just you know, once he does a movie or does something, he moves on to the next. He doesn't spend a lot of
Yeah.
time, you know, stuck in time
Yeah, he
trying to
doesn't watch
read.
his own movies at all, he says.
Right. He
Man, did
doesn't.
you ever read the Rolling Stone interview of Johnny Depp?
No, I haven't.
I
No.
really, I think, first of all, I think he's an incredible actor. He's had a really difficult life,
Yeah.
um, which I won't get into.
Yeah.
Um, man, read the Rolling Stone article about Johnny Depp. Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. He's quite a talent.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
incredible.
Yeah. One of our viewers, or Lovities, said,
Mhm.
what is the significance of the holes in the cymbal?
It just changes the sound a little bit.
Right.
I
Right.
think it's a little bit, you know, it's a little fashionable to have them now too, and drummers love to buy tons of different cymbals, and they'll see a cymbal with holes in it, and they'll be like, "Wow, I don't have any cymbals with no holes. I don't
Yeah.
have a cymbal with holes in it."
Yeah.
So, but if you cut pieces of the cymbals out, it affects the sound, makes it sound different.
That's a great question. We've got another cool piece we want to show here too. Everybody, that was really nice. I think there was about 6 minutes of just pure butter. The folks that take the video, they do a nice job too. I'm just looking, you know, from a
This is
video
Simon
TV guy.
Yu. He's made a lot of my
Nice.
videos, and he has, to me, the most professional
Yeah.
small film crew in New York. All of our people work with Simon. YU is his last name. He's very easy to find in New York. He does an incredible job and is very professional. He designs some of my posters.
Yeah, does a
Some of
nice
my,
job. Yeah, he just is really
he's,
smooth, and the
and I
edits.
think that might have even been two cameras, and one was stationary, you know. And the
Yes.
studio is a little small. You know, everything is small in New York.
Oh yeah.
So it's tough to get the right angle. But there's another set of videos he did for me with the band Current, which is very electronic, which is on my YouTube page. And there's this great dark color and grain to it. I'm not sure exactly what he did, but he's a great filmmaker. He's also an incredible musician.
Now, do you get to play with the other guys that joined you in that video
Those
often as
guys I work with a lot. I would
you
say
work with
that
them?
might
Yeah.
even be the trio that I work with the most in the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's very busy. Those guys each have their own groups too.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both very celebrated band leaders, Gilad Hexelman and Ari Honig, and they're considered to be, you know,
Cream of the crop.
yeah, I would say, yeah.
Yeah. As are you. I mean, some really fantastic stuff we're listening to. And again, this just really scratches the surface, folks. The albums, where can they get the albums?
Everywhere, everywhere. There's many, 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 many.
Amazon. I mean, all those
Yeah,
places.
everywhere.
Are they on iTunes, Spotify, all those
They're
places?
every single place it could possibly be.
Including your cousin's backyard barbecue and picnic.
I'm sure sometimes in the discount bin.
Oh my God, the hours I used to spend in New York, Long Island, and take the train into the city and digging through those Tower Records bins.
Sure.
Oh,
I was just thinking about Tower the other day because I was walking by 4th Street.
Yeah.
They would have concerts in there, and they would have listening stations where you could listen to all
the headphones, and
they had clothes on the 2nd floor. Tower was incredible.
They had vintage stuff. You couldn't find stuff from Europe and around the world.
Really miss it.
A lot of cool instrumental. I love instrumental. You know, big. We have a storage bin that I pay for monthly, filled with music. I mean, sealed LPs, reel to reel. I mean, cassette CDs of all kinds of stuff. And it's, you know, music is a big part, and absolutely love it. And you're immersed in it, and I know you love it too.
Sure.
Break tune by keyboardist Brian Charette. Tell us about this video. This is the one without Jojo, I think. This is just you.
That might be the same song. Do you have another one? We could play that one. It's a different take on the song that we heard with Jojo. This is me playing maybe it's a good one to play.
Yeah, just see something a little different.
But this is me
doing it there.
All of my synthesizers, which I'm going to do in an hour from now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm Pinch Brian on Facebook. If people send me a friend request, they can watch the show later tonight, which happens in 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Here's that break tune by keyboardist Brian Charette. Very cool. Very cool. I see the smile on your face when you're watching it too. You probably even haven't seen that in a while either, right?
Well, that's what it sounds like when I mix the music, and I like it.
Yes,
You
right.
can hear the bass.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the amazing thing about that stream is I've been working on it for 2 years, and I've got it dialed in just like I want it, you know?
It's your thing, right? Exactly. When you get a chance to do what really speaks to you, not that any of us don't do things that are, with others and other
But this is
visions,
my most authentic
but it's
artistic
authentic
statement, I think.
Brian. Right. I've even had the opportunity with the Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. This series we started 640 episodes ago, and I still can't believe we've done that amount of talking. Opportunity to speak, we're both real. You're real. I'm real. We're organic and authentic, but share even more things that I wouldn't be able to necessarily do in a more confined environment, structure of some of the other things that I do. You know what I mean? For you as well. And here you get a chance to do that, and it speaks to you, and people respond to it accordingly, which is kind of cool, huh?
It's cool. I like your show.
You want to do a little piano for us there, right? You got a little swivel, and he's got a whole thing set up here.
Do you have a request?
Surprise us. Anything that you think of, or do you want the audience to request something? Gang, do you want to do a live request right now?
Be careful, because you can stump the piano player very easily. You
can stump and there's the whole copyright thing with you two, which gets funky. We know about
Toby
that.
says it's your thing.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
It's your thing. Okay, that's all I'm going to do about that. ELP, Toby. That's too hard too.
What comes to mind for you? What would be something you
I'm gonna play like some stride piano, some like old man jazz piano. And this song is called Spring Is Here.
Great. Really nice, my friend. That was fantastic. Is piano what still, speaks to your heart, or is the organ giving it a run for its money?
They all do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah. What are some cool things you have coming up that people can look forward to? Events, shows, things that people can check out coming up?
Well, I have all my concert dates, which I have to update because I have a couple more tours at briancharette.com, which is BrianCharette.com. Maureen wants. I was just teaching Mary how to Little Lamb today. It's a big one.
Chopsticks too? Is that still?
That was my first one. You know, Chopsticks has a whole middle section that's complicated and nobody knows it.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't even realize that. Wow.
Yep.
That's cool. We would go up to Massachusetts to my Uncle Fred and Aunt Dorith's house. She's from Vienna, Austria originally. Beautiful piano in their dining room. And I would always, as a kid, go there and just start, playing away. And I've got these cassette tapes of me doing it when I was a kid. And sometimes I pull it out and love to have learned first playing by ear. I studied violin when I was a kid, and then we got the guitar. But piano was by ear. And one of the first things that I played was by ear. I think it was Heart and Soul. Da-na-na,
Yeah, it's a
da-na-na-na-na-na,
and that's the first duet, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to do it with one hand, but I can't. This I would play with my mother. So this is how I started to play the piano.
And then the second one was the All in the Family theme.
Oh, that's up. Incredible show. You know, Carol O'Connor was talking about race relations way back. I mean, that's what that show was about. Trying to expose these stereotypes.
Yes.
That was
Norman Lear, God bless him. Norman Lear, 99 years old, and he did a video that he posted last summer, I think it was. He's in a white T-shirt. He's in a rocking chair on a porch at his family home in Vermont, and he's got this beautiful view off the porch of the Vermont countryside and the mountains. And I think he might have a glass of lemonade or something in his hand. And he does this really short video. And he said, I'm here. I'm Norman Lear. I'm 99. I'm looking out on my porch here in Vermont. Let me turn my phone around. Very basic, just raw. And let me show you what I'm looking at, the gift that I have of looking at this Vermont countryside. He said, this is the house that we would always come to in the summertime here in Vermont. It's now our kids, my wife and I's kids now have the house. We're all here together. He said, I'm 99. I'm with my family. We're in this Vermont house. This is my view. Glass of lemonade. Who's more lucky than me? Just like that. And it really cut to the chase that, with all the things that he's been involved in television and so much more, all the shows, the iconic shows with messages, to be 99 and have that as your reflection. We should all be so lucky, huh?
Sure.
We should all be so lucky. There was one line in the All in the Family theme that a lot of people, when they would watch it on television, never knew what Gene Stapleton and Carol O'Connor were singing. And that was the part towards the latter part of the song where they said, G, our old LaSalle ran great. People had no idea when they say, G, our old LaSalle ran great. They had no idea until like recent years what they were singing.
What that means.
And it's G, our old LaSalle car ran great. Those were the days. So you love what you're doing. What are some of those blessings and joys in your life, Brian, that continue to inspire you? You've been in it a long time. It's not easy. I was going to say, if this whole music thing doesn't work out, watching that other video where you were doing several things at once, I think you'd be a great octopus.
I actually think,
or Cirque du Soleil, maybe.
I think music is the easiest thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm sure different genres of music are, if you're in pop music and you're over a certain age, that could be difficult to have a certain type of career, which is not true in the kind of music that I play. It's like the older you get, the better in a way. Like you just have to stay alive. You meet more people, you do more things, and not that it's easy to do music or to organize the tours or do any of that, but I actually find music to be the most stable thing in my life, you know, which I don't hear a lot of people say.
They don't. Usually they say the opposite.
I think it's good if you play keyboard instruments too, especially if you do that in a variety of different contexts, because
Yes.
people need that. They need people to arrange music. They need people to orchestrate music. They need, you know, it's a very good thing to do to work in music, to play a keyboard instrument.
Exactly. Speaking of that, maybe you can tell us what we're seeing around you. We see a lot of cool instruments around you. That's
This
a
is what
great,
I
actually,
use.
that's a terrific angle where you have the camera now. It's a
Yeah.
nice angle.
This is where, so this top keyboard is called a DeepMind 12. This is a controller keyboard. Look below that, that controls my organ, or it can be my piano. And I'm using this in the stream. And the camera is up here for the stream. You can kind of even see at the top of that grate, I kind of have the two tripods. You know, not super professional is the coat hanger. I don't even know what this is called.
But that's where the tuxedo goes, right?
That's where the tuxedo goes, but it's holding my mixer. This is a bass instrument. And you saw this from the above view from the last video. This is a drum machine on the top. This iPad has a lot of music stuff on it. This is another drum machine, and this is my piano. So I play these things when I do the stream, you know.
Now, do you have neighbors around that get to hear all this? Other people on
I
each
do,
side
but
of
it's
you?
not, the noise is, you know, the East Village is pretty noisy, and, you know, it's really not that loud. Like, I've gone outside to hear how loud it is. It's not that loud.
Which is good. Well, I'm sure the neighbors probably like it too, right?
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure somebody doesn't like it.
So, as far as like concert dates, things of that nature, again, they can go to the website to learn about things.
Right now, for the next month or so, I'm playing a lot in New York.
You are.
I play this week. I'm playing Friday night at a place called 1803, which is in Tribeca, and Saturday night at a place called the 55 Bar. I play in a lot of places in New York when I'm in town weekly. I am playing in Connecticut, my home state. Next month on the 18th, I'm playing at a place called Firehouse 12, and the 26th, I'm playing at the Side Door Jazz Cafe, Jazz Club. And I'm playing with two different groups. I'm playing with the electronic group for Firehouse, and I'm playing with the sextet, which we haven't even really talked about, which is almost like, sextet is organ and drums, like I was doing with Jojo.
Right.
It has like a wind ensemble that almost plays contemporary classical music, fused with kind of this Harlem organ stuff.
Yeah.
So that's another group that I play with. But it's very easy to find all of these musics if you just enter my name and whatever. Like, you
now, if we were to listen to your boombox or iPod or whatever musical, I mean, I still have my Onkyo stereo system, turntable, double cassette deck, KLH speaker. I still have all that equipment, and I love music that, you know, I'm still trying to become a fan of music that is shoved in earphones in my ear. Maybe it comes from years of headphones at radio stations, everything. I like to have the earphones out of my ears, and I like music that fills the house, you know, coming out of good sized speakers or what have you, and it just bounces off the walls acoustically, and it's this rich sound of flowing through the house. There's just something about it. And I also, it's really interesting, I mentioned this to somebody before, it was, I think, a musician. So for some reason, I also like music sometimes when the music, I know when we go to concerts and what have you, music is coming at us. If we're in front of a stereo system, music's coming at us. In the radio, in our car, the music's coming at us. But I really love when music sometimes is coming from behind me and is sort of sweeping over me. It's just coming from back here and coming over. Does that make sense to you?
Of course.
Yeah.
I like it too. That's kind of how I'm set up. Well, my speakers are set up right here. But when I'm, like where I'm pointing, basically here. So when I have my back, it's coming out this way, and I have good speakers. I have like, mixing speakers. So it sounds pretty good in here when I do the show. Yes, Merlin, surround sound, when you got it the front and the back.
Yes. I don't know if you remember the movie theaters when some of the iconic disaster movies came out, and they said it was in Sense-Around, that where the actual, the walls would shake and the sounds were coming from like all around you, which was that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember the last time I went to a movie theater.
The last time we went was actually in COVID. We had a special guest. We had the pastor, who was interviewed by Tammy Faye Baker, PTL Club, Jib and Tammy. And he was one of the very first gay pastors to be interviewed on Christian television. And there was this new movie that came out, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, looking at the life of Tammy Faye Baker and Jim Baker. And the interview that Tammy Faye did with Steve Peters, the pastor. And because he was a guest on the show, his PR people approached us and he came on the show, and it was a terrific conversation. Everybody can still see it on our YouTube channel. But we went to the movie theater, and boy, there was only us and two other people. It's like, wow, I hope this isn't, the death knell for movie theaters. But again, it was COVID, people weren't out. But there is something about when you do go to the theater and then the screen is huge. And
when I was a kid, we went to the drive-in.
You probably went to that famous one, the Hartford drive-in, right? Is that the one?
I don't think I went to that one, but we would go a lot. I saw E.T. in the drive-in, and you'd get the big busted up speaker and hang it inside your car. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I was in the 1971 Dodge Charger, terrific car.
Yes, absolutely. What, that was your car?
That was my family car. I was born in 1972.
So that was the family car.
So I'm not quite that old.
No, not at all. Not at all.
A little bit.
You ever consider movie music, soundtrack music, things of that nature?
I've done some of that. I've done, I used to do music for Discovery Channel.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a very small part on a soap opera for like 6 months.
Which soap opera?
The Guiding Light.
The Guiding Light on CBS. And they filmed in the studios in Brooklyn, right? Or
that was the CBS when I did it. It was, I feel like it was in the East Side, like 44th Street. It was the big sound studio. I feel like they were there for the whole
CBS studio.
Yeah. Because it was a very big sound. It was like a block.
What was your role? Did they have you as a musician?
I was a pianist.
You were a pianist. Wow.
Yeah, but I was on the show for I wasn't on every episode. Maybe I did 6 or 7 episodes.
So was it in a club whenever they do shots in a club or something?
It would depend. And, there was a gentleman on the show who was who was maybe the lead of the show, I would say. His name was Bradley Cole. He's also a very talented singer. He lives in LA now.
Yeah.
And he had a group, and they, for some reason, I think they wrote his character off the show, but some of the fans said, we want.
That happens. Yeah.
So he was brought back, and I can't remember this exactly, but he might've been brought back as his evil twin brother district attorney who had a rock band. And they wrote his band into the show.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would really happen now, but it did that. And it was pretty eye-opening experience, to be on the set of a soap opera.
The whole television. Did you enjoy it?
I didn't have big responsibilities
or lots of dialogue. Yeah.
There was not a lot of dialogue. Yeah. They called you an under 5. That means
an under 5, right? 5 lines.
That I'm sure the under 5 lines of dialogue. But I had to join AFTRA,
Yes, because
you
it's
know, and we would
network
have to
union.
go there, and you know, they didn't pay us paid fairly well, um, especially for what I was doing, which was kind of nothing, you know. And
Did it
we
bring
played all.
exposure? It must have brought some exposure.
I don't know
Really?
if that really did anything, you know, for me career wise, but it was definitely very fun. You know, in those years, it was easy. I don't want to say it was easy to be on TV, but on the late night shows, a lot of bands I played in got on, you know, Carson Daly show,
Yes.
Conan
Yeah.
show,
Conan.
John Stewart show was in New York.
Yes.
So I would play on those
And that was
shows.
TRL?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. So
Probably
many
on
years ago.
MTV.
And I was
TRL.
very handsome, so I was on more television in my youth. You know.
Yeah, I noticed you said was. You made that past tense.
Well, I was more handsome. It's okay. I'm okay with it.
That is funny. Well, this was awesome, my friend. It was really great getting a chance to hear some of the incredible music, hear about your career, your story, a little wit and wisdom sprinkled in there as well. Is there anything that is on that sort of Brian bucket list, things that you still want to do that you haven't tackled yet, or you'd like to do more of?
I would like to work less and try less.
And try less.
I would like to be, you know, I've worked very hard up until now, and I would
Yeah.
like to let that go just a bit
Are you a perfectionist in any way?
in every way.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Which is
can get that.
exhausting.
No, I know that. Yeah, because I am in certain ways too. And it actually, it's fantastic and it can be exhausting. You're right. It can be
Yeah.
really, you know, so how do you work with that? What do you do, especially, you know, in the music world and everything? And
I try to be aware of it, but I'm a flawed human being, you know. I try to put my best foot forward, and if I get too far this way or that, I try to pull myself back to reality, you know.
yeah, yeah. So what do you listen to? I was thinking if I think it was started to ask earlier, and then I went in on a
I
tangent. What would be in your boom box or iPad or
listen to
iPod?
Barbara Streisand and Barry Gibb, like the softest,
Yeah.
most flaccid '70s soft rock.
The soft rock, yeah.
And I listen to electronic music from Germany, like Kraftwerk. So I listen to unusual music for the music.
Do you like chill music?
I do. I can't say that I listen to that exclusively. You know,
Yeah.
I'm also playing so much music all the time. I don't have a great chance to listen to a lot of music because I usually have to write my own music. Jen Berry is saying, "Do I have a Zen?" I'm not sure what that means.
Sort of like what you're sort of mentioning it right now a little bit as far as place. Well, you mentioned you like the ocean, as do I. But
I love Zen Buddhism and other. I was actually a Hinayanan Buddhist for a while.
Really,
not a Zen Buddhist.
Yeah.
I would say I'm not a religious person now, but I very much love the Tao Te Ching, and I would say that that very much drives my morality and my choices.
Are you an observer of life? Are you always observing, and does that contribute to your music?
It must. It must. You know, music for me is not something I really think a lot about either. It just kind of comes out after so many years of doing it. And it's very common for me to be writing for some sort of deadline. I have a recording session or I'm playing with some group and I have to have such and such music written, sometimes for a lot of people. Sometimes it's very time consuming. So I don't know if I approach it like work. I kind of just sit down and do it. It's just kind of what I do. And I don't think of it, I love it and I think it's amazing, but I'm not overly precious about the music part of it.
It's interesting, right? I've heard others say something similar. Does it ever become a grind?
No, it doesn't feel that way for me.
And I've heard a couple of session musicians say that, you know, because we'll talk about, wow, that song that you were on was fantastic. And sometimes one or two have said that was just a gig. We were there, we were paid
Yeah.
this, we were in and out, and that was just a gig.
And there's a truth to that as well. But how hot is it to go to some place and go la 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 on some instrument and get paid for it? I mean, it's not like you're digging graves or working on the railroad. I mean, it's like it's pretty easy to be
and
honest.
to be a part of something that turns out to be iconic and really touches people's lives.
And I think it's very easy in the arts, and I'm sure you see this in television. It's very easy for artists to be bitter or to have a negative outlook on things because it's hard to break through. It's hard to do. But if you can get over yourself a little bit, to me that goes away a lot. And to me, the big lesson is it's just what you do. Like if you're making it some big end of the world thing, it's very easy to get disappointed because you're going to find that no matter what happens, you still got to put your pants on one leg at a time.
It's great advice
from doing all these things. I'll do some album or I'll do some gig. And I'm like, oh, my life is going to be totally different after
because
this.
of that, right?
And it is, but it doesn't fundamentally change anything else.
It's great advice for anybody listening live right now or who will watch this on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, in the archives. The advice like that, it's sort of, don't get too hung up on it. In the early years in all of our industries, we are trying to, grab that brass ring and have everything exact and perfect. And if you do this, that'll top that. And then when you do that, that's going to top that. And it's a constant. And then you come to a point, pandemics or otherwise, where you're kind of like, maybe
the whole thing can be swept out from under you in an instant.
Swept out. And maybe it's good to breathe. And maybe it's good to the other thing too is, I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people, including myself, a lot of times, as soon as I've done something, whether it's live, recorded, on location, studio, whatever it may be, for me in the beginning, I usually don't like it right away. Everybody else does. That was epic, terrific, spot on. You nailed it. Great, perfect. For me, I'm like, not yet. Even though I just did it, I'm done. Yet, and I've learned to be able to go easier. I'll pull out tapes from years ago of things that I've done and watch it, listen to it and say, you know what? Wow. Under those conditions with that level of experience, that was pretty good. I mean, the place was on fire and I was making some
perspective.
Yeah. And for some reason, I can appreciate it more for me, not for the audience or who I'm delivering it to, but I appreciate it more, or I allow myself to, when I'm detached from the emotional investment I've made in it.
Sure.
Yeah. Is that the same for
me,
you?
I'm not overly attached to the notes.
Yeah, right.
So much. Like I want the package to be good. I want the gig to go well. But the notes I feel comfortable with. They are what they are. And I play music that is basically, you're sitting down at an instrument and you have to play. It's in the moment. It's right there. And I don't hold on to that anymore. That doesn't cause me any pain anymore.
You used to do it and learn to.
And I just let it go. And I've had so many albums and I've done so many concerts that sometimes it's really amazing and sometimes it's a little bit less amazing. And maybe my view of it is not even accurate or the way most people view it. So I don't get too much hung up on that part.
You said to me before we went live on the air, which was kind of cool. You were talking about, sometimes you're talking about 21 albums now. There's material that people will really, really dive into and love. And you'll say, that isn't my favorite. That wasn't really my best, but they're loving it. Kind of an interesting thing. People have their own take, their own interpretation, and sort of make it their own, which is, the icing on the cake of some of this, the after effect, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do it for people too. Like I'm playing the music. I mean, I love to do it, but I love especially to give it to people who want it or enjoy it, or it does something for them.
Yeah. The blessings and joys in your life continue, obviously, and you're always inspired. You're always looking for ways to connect because you're also, I'm a communicator, you're a communicator. We're storytellers
Yeah.
through what we do, right?
And it's very necessary. Like, we're not raining on anybody's parade, and we're not fighting with anybody, which is, there's a lot of that going on. And, you know, the thing I like the most about music is I don't have to be in a debate about it.
Yes. Isn't that
Especially
refreshing?
because the music I play has no words. There's nothing to argue about. There's no ideology to debate or discuss or get upset about. So
Right.
I really like that part about it.
It's cool stuff. It really is. My friend, this was epic. I really appreciate all the
Oh, my
time.
pleasure. I like being on your show very much. I'll surely come on again.
Yeah, we'll keep the porch light on. And as they all do, spread the word. We would love, if you have other folks you think would like to pop on and experience. We do it calm, casual, sort of old school with a
No,
modern
I dig it, man.
vibe. And, just really like to connect. And it was really terrific. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had and
Totally.
enjoyed the time with me as much as I did. There was somebody, or is somebody that's here that usually pops in towards the end. Just wanted to say you did a fantastic job. Mr. George Burns is in the
I
house.
love him.
And you'll appreciate this. My Aunt Lillian from West Hartford, Connecticut, actually. My mother's the youngest of 16.
My aunt lives in West Hartford too.
And West Hartford. And she collected dolls of all kinds. I mean, some really fantastic ones. And when George turned 100, this limited edition came out and she grabbed it and it got passed down to me. And he usually rounds things out at the end with his dapper. There's a cigar right there.
No, I was a big fan.
He enjoyed everything that you said and everything you did today, as did I, my friend.
Cool.
We will keep that porch light on. Continue joy and blessing. Keep making the music.
I will.
And again,
I'm going to get ready to do it right now.
Yes. You just swivel around, make some adjustments.
Swivel around.
And this was cool, my friend. We'll have to break bread at some time. We're not far from one another in the tri-state area. So,
of course.
And I'll try to check out a concert or two, which would be really, really cool.
Of course.
You be well, good health, and thanks for spending this amount of time with us on the show. I appreciate it.
Likewise, my pleasure, Jim.
All right, you take care now. Cheers.
Okay, pal. Good night, everyone.
Brian Charette live from New York City, joining us here on the program. I'm your host, Jim Masters. Thanks so much for joining us and being with us, gang. We appreciate it. We appreciate Brian, who played live. We also have some really cool videos we showed. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, the one you're watching right now. That is Jim Masters TV. Boy, are these shows epic. We don't just do music. We don't just do talk. I mean, we do everything on this show, don't we? Sometimes I'm boggled when I look back at the episodes and I see all the things we've done. Don't forget to give this a like. That's the thumbs up you see on the YouTube channel. There's a thumbs up icon underneath this episode and all the episodes. And leave a comment on the YouTube channel as well. Gang, when you do that, that really helps us because YouTube sees that. And then they blast this episode out even further. I love executive producing, creating these shows for you, bringing in guests from all walks of life, chatting with all of you, and spending time with all of you, whether you're watching live or you're watching this later on Memorex. Remember that? Is it live or it's Memorex? Really, really a lot of effort and time and attention goes into these broadcasts. There's a lot of things that are on the internet, a lot of stuff out there, but boy, we've created such an incredible community of levity. And again, for everybody who's watching, they hear this word all the time. That's just a word that popped out of my mouth about a year and a half ago when I said the show has a lot of light, love, and levity. And I said levity. And the rest is history. And we've got an amazing group of people who watch all the time. We're always getting new viewers. We welcome everybody who's JMS Levity. We welcome everybody who is joining us for the very first time. Thank you so much. Subscribe. Tell everybody about our show. This was epic. And again, the music speaks for itself. Brian is obviously a master of his craft. He is very serious about it, but yet he's not serious. He enjoys it as he does it. And wow. Okay. Thank you very much, Jen Barry. I love you back. Thank you. That is cool. Right right back at you there in Allentown, where I know you're Zen. Hey, Jen Barry, did you go out for that winter sunbathing after our first show this afternoon? You said you were going to be going out there in the mountains of Allentown, Pennsylvania, and you were going to be doing some winter sunbathing. Did you do that, Jen Barry? Toby, yes, good having you here with us as well. And you say we are the Loveday clan. We sure are. And you're a part of it, Toby, as well. And we appreciate it. Hearts, 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 smiles from Merlin and Ontario, Canada, right back at you. You are quite amazing, Jim. Kathleen Walker, thank you very much. I appreciate that in New York City. You know, when I decided back in like April, May of 2020 to go put this whole monster series together and do all of these shows in the way that we do them, with all this production value and all these guests and all this content, and to do them live and have viewers. And you know, at first I said, can I add this to what I already do in my TV and radio and stage and film career? Is there a way that I'm going to be able to pull this off? How am I going to pull this off? This is going to require a lot of, you know, backroom effort, a lot of production, just a lot of time booking guests and all the promotion and all the stuff that we do. I'm glad I did. I am glad that I created this show for you and for me and for us. It's a great place for guests to sort of stop by, pop in, and talk a little bit about who they are and what they do and what their lives are about. Maybe you can connect to some of that. And it's also great to have you here connecting with me and me connecting with you as your host and producer and founder and creator of this Jim Master Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. So this is continues to be, we're coming up soon on our 2-year anniversary. I cannot believe that we have been doing this show as consistently as we have for some 2 years now, almost. We'll have to do something really cool for the 2 years. I mean, we always have great celebrations here when we do birthday celebrations and, you know, all the holidays. This whole set becomes a Christmas wonderland. I mean, it's just really cool stuff that we do. But it's coming up on the 2 years. We're going to have to decide what we should do for all of you. Again, just really, really cool to just pop on here in Loveday Hall, Loveday Land, as we call this, or as you guys deemed it. I think it was Danilo in San Diego that once said Loveday Hall, and we grabbed that. I said Loveday, and then he said Loveday Hall, and then somebody said you guys are part of the Loveday squad, and then somebody said, I think it's Linda Odell maybe, or somebody said I'm Mr. Loveday, and this whole thing has just grown exponentially from there. And again, I really try to give you guys variety too. You know, there's a lot of niche things where it's just music, or it's just health and wellness, or it's just life or food or motivation or whatever. I like to do all of that. I like to motivate and inspire and uplift, entertain, connect, and just also rap with you guys too. And that's a big part of why I do this show, is to connect me with you and you with me. All the other stuff, including when guests come in, that's all the window dressing. That's all the extra stuff that really adds to what we're doing. But the main reason why I created the Jim Master Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series is to connect with all of you and you and you and you. I said that in the very beginning when I started this series, you and you and you and you. To, as a host, as a journalist, as an on-air guy, television, radio, and all the things I've done, I love communicating and connecting with people. So it's really, that's why I started this show, is to have and to maybe expand even further the relationship I have with the viewing public, playing off my TV and radio background with all of you. And it's just continues to be a blessing. So I toast all of you in style here. Raise all your glasses, Loveday Squad. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode and you enjoy all our shows. Very, very nice. Mr. George Burns made his appearance as well, as usual. Now, I know some people watch just for the guests, which is fantastic. but we hope you also enjoy all the elements of what we do here at the Jim Master Show Live. Because again, the main reason why I started this series is to host the show and communicate with all of you and hear from all of you as we do all the time, whether it's live in chat or you guys send emails, you guys send messages on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, all those great places. And feel free to do that. I'm at Jim Masters TV on all of those crazy places. I believe you started a lovely revolution. I think that's what it is, Maureen. I think that's what it is. I think my very first guest was a dear friend of mine, acting coach, actor, and producer, Reno Venturi. I believe he was the very first guest that I invited to come on the show almost 2 years ago. And then Dan Goggin came on, is another dear friend. Dan Goggin is the producer of the legendary Broadway hit Nonsense. Dan was on the show, I think one of the first weeks. When I first started the show, I didn't have any guests. It was, again, me talking. We talked about childhood toys. We talked about our day. We talked about all kinds of stuff. It was really the talk part of what we do. And then I started inviting a couple of guests who were people I know personally who were in various industries, and they all popped on. And then what happened is people started really watching the series and wanting to come on the show. And I'm talking about now we're agents and managers and PR people and ad people contact us and that they want their guests on the Jim Master Show Live. Because we, when we do have the guests, we give them a lot of time and we really too crazy and heavy for them. And we, it's all warm and conversational, which I really love anyway. So if someone subscribes during the live, they seem to not be able to chat. That I'm not sure of. You should be able to subscribe while the chat is happening. So if you subscribe that, let's see, is that because you are live and it needs to be refreshed? My friend Veronica from Australia says, good day. Your friend from Veronica says, good day. Hello, Veronica from Australia. Merlin says, if you've got something weird from me, I've been hacked. It depends on what that is. If you got something weird from me, I've been hacked. Paul Green was also a guest on our show. He's a good friend. We've known each other a long time. We worked together on a project at Carnegie Hall. Jen Barry gives us an update. She says, yes, I did meet winter sunbathing. How was it? It's cold here in the Northeast. Right now, it's 23 degrees Fahrenheit and clear at 8:39 p.m. Eastern. That's where this show is. You missed the earlier show. Stressful day. Thank God for all of you. Thank God for you as well. Well, that's what's great about the Jim Master Show Live archives. We archive all of our shows so you can watch it. It was with Paul Byram. He made his second return visit to us here on the Jim Master Show Live at an epic time. And he's just about to come over to the States from Ireland and start his tour. Maureen says, Jim, I know I've said it before, but please know how much I appreciate all the hard work behind the scenes to bring us levity every single show. You're amazing. I really appreciate that, Maureen. Gee, I hope we all do get a chance to meet each other one of these days. How cool would that be on that levity cruise? Perhaps we're looking at June of 2023. So we're going to start making some official announcements on that. First, we wanted to do 2021, then we wanted to do 2022. But of course, the pandemic situations, we wanted to be safe and sound and smooth for everybody. So we weren't going to be doing any of that kind of travel and bringing everybody together during the height of all that. So we're looking at, it's the 2023 area around that June time period. And we'll have more information for you. Matter of fact, I'm going to reach out to my friends who have that travel agency who are putting it all together. And we'll have more, because I know many of you have voiced a real desire to come on our Jim Masters Show Live levity cruise. Looks like it'll be to Bermuda, which I've been to twice, which is terrific. We were going to do other places, but some of you said you'd like to do something that's a little bit closer to the region, and so we're going to do that, and something that'll be affordable too. Thank you, Jim, for a double Lovity day. I know here it is on a Tuesday, and we're doing double Lovity. Sometimes that's usually, which for those watching who don't know, that means we did 2 full live episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live series on the same day, almost back to back. I had time for some spaghetti in between the shows. It was delicious. Appreciate all you do. Sherry Larson, thank you very much there in Kansas. Maureen says, this has been such an incredible evening of music and conversation. Thank you, Brian, for the entertainment. Stay well. Wow-wee from Toby. That's a double Lovity. Wow-wee. Jim, you have that light that changes color also. So in Canada, they spell it C-O-L-O-U-R. They use the U like they do in Britain. I love that. And I think you guys spell favorite probably F-A-V-O-R-I. Is there a U in there? I think there, or something. There's some of these words that I love that have that English spelling, like color. Yes, it's usually up there. You guys really want me to put the blinking light that we had from the birthday episode. This is like being the weatherman right there. That studio light that's there, the blue one. Yeah, we'll have to look for that. Very, very cool. Thanks, Willie. Just looking through all these great comments. Merlin also saying, great guest tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kathleen in New York City. And all the great comments coming in here. We always have a good time with all of you and with our guests. And the little post-show chat we're doing right now. Maureen said she missed the toasts. So we're going to have to bring the Raise the Glass toasts back. We got to bring back, Lin, the panda, and some of the other cast of characters too. Are you guys missing the cast of characters? The Jim Masters Show cast of characters? The Genie and the Casper and the Gilligan, Don Full of Love from Back to the Future. He was a guest on our show too. If you didn't see that one, check that out. But if you guys are missing some of those cast of characters that we would always bring onto the show, George is still here. We still bring George on, but Silver, matter of fact, you can see Silver right there. There's Silver and there's Genie, the Genie bottle. But we probably should do a show where we bring those JMS cast of characters back that you guys love. LJ, Lawrence Juber was your very first Jim Masters TV show. Our friend Lawrence Juber, of course, brilliant musician and guitarist. And relax. Thank you very much, Merlin. Your wish is my command. We will do that. We're going to put our feet up. It's 8:45, so it's not too late. Tomorrow, I have 4 live radio shows to do all throughout the afternoon. And then we've got another incredible guest. We have, not only is she a philanthropist and a renowned attorney, lawyer, she's also the new world top model, Ms. 2022. She hails from New York. Her name is Lydia. She's going to be joining us tomorrow live. That's a special gift because that came together like 24 hours ago, that we had a guest scheduled for tomorrow, but she's now not available until April. So we had an opening for Wednesday, and I could have taken the night off maybe because the day work and television radio was really busy. But I said, you know what? No, let me see what we can do. And we were able to welcome a very special guest tomorrow who just won World Top Model Ms. 2022. But she's a phenomenally inspiring person. She has a charity that helps women that are struggling and those who need to be inspired and uplifted. She's got a wonderful charity. We'll talk about that. But also, she just won World Top Model 2 days ago. Isn't it amazing? And, but again, she's a brilliant lawyer and so much more. She's going to be with us tomorrow night. Kathy Garver is with us on Thursday, making her third return visit. And every time it's a charm. She, of course, was Sissy on the beloved TV series on CBS, the sitcom Family Affair. She's going to be with us as well. So we've got a ton of great guests coming up. Terry Ann says, Jim, may I say, you are why I watched these special shows. If it was you just talking and sharing things with us lovedies, I would be very happy with the Jim Masters show. Smile, care sign, heart, heart, heart. Thank you very much. That's why I started the show as a professional broadcast host, is to host and chat and try to bring some light into your lives. Thank you very much, Terry Ann. And to make you smile and entertain you and talk about life and motivate and inspire you as well. Toby wants to go on the cruise. Sherry wants Chippendales on the cruise. I'll have to see if the travel agency can work on that for you, Sherry, in quiet Kansas. She wants the Chippendales. You have anxiety when you miss a show, but the archives save you. That's from Maureen. You spaghetti with you're back. You're there on the West Coast, so a little bit earlier for you. You made it. You made it. So you were able to subscribe, right? I think you if you subscribe when the show is live, you are able to comment in chat. We hope you subscribe anyway and stay with us when you do subscribe, not just so you can chat live, but to be with us. That helps us grow and helps us expand. And Veronica Lee, coming to us from Australia. Wow, we are glad you made it from down under, where it's already tomorrow, right? It's already Wednesday. So let us know. It's still Tuesday here in the United States. We're on the East Coast in the New York area. How's Wednesday looking? It's already Wednesday where you are in Australia. So we're in Tuesday. How's Wednesday looking? Is it good? I think it's already Wednesday for Jane in Sweden too, I think, who said she was going to be dancing. When she goes to bed tonight, she's going to be dancing her way to bed. I always say that we know it's New Year's Eve here on the East Coast and it strikes midnight first before it does on the West Coast. We call our friends and family and colleagues on the West Coast and we let them know, because we start that day before they do, New Year's Day, that it's going to be a good day and everything's okay. The world didn't end because we're 3 hours ahead. So for Australia, where it's already tomorrow, and welcome, Veronica Lee Ebert. It's good to have you with us. You're now a Jim Master Show lovety. We hope you watch all the time. And look, everybody welcomes. Yes, there it is. That's right. With the spelling. I love that. It's good stuff. Jen Sarah says, Jim, everyone says I love your shirt. Jim, Jen, say I love you as yourself. So you love the shirt and me. I love you back. I love the back. You want to see the cast in occasionally. You want to see the JMS cast of characters, right? I know. I got to bring them back. We've had so many guests. I need to do that. Yes, please bring back the lovely mascots. I will. We got one of them here that became a lovely mascot from Mary Bishop. You may remember at Christmas time, this elf that she sent in. I don't know. Does the light have to tone down a little bit there? There, maybe on that side. And he's still here. This came for Christmas time in a big box from Mary Bishop. And see his eyes? There he is. Actually, he's very Irish. How we can keep him on set for St. Patrick's Day. He's right over here to the right. And George Burns is over here to the left. Now, I know on your screen, it's like vice versa. But Mr. Irish Elf here is here. He's added to the Jim Master Show cast of characters. Whatever it takes to put smiles on your faces, gang. We do it all. Veronica Lee says, good day from Australia. Thank you for sharing, Toby, for extra instructions. I needed to find this chat. We are glad that you found our show, the Jim Master Show Live, and we're glad you found the chat. And we're glad that you subscribed to our YouTube channel. Welcome from Australia. Good day to you as well, Veronica Lee. It's nice. When you do a pop-up, bring all your friends. So when we do one of those pop-up Lovity shows, bring all the cast of characters. Toby's happy that Veronica Lee made it in. Perfect. We are too. Jim, get some rest. Have a great night. Thank you, Kathleen. Always looking out for me as well. And if you want to know, for those of you where it's still Tuesday, like it is here in the States, it's still Tuesday. Canada, it's still Tuesday. Veronica Lee is already experiencing Wednesday there in Australia. She's giving us a live update from beautiful Australia. She says, Wednesday has started beautifully with your show. Thumbs up to you as well, and smiles, and love it. Where in Australia are you, Veronica Lee? I'd love to know what part of Australia. Are you in Sydney? Are you in Perth? Are you in Brisbane? I know some of us Americans, we say Brisbane, Melbourne. But then again, some of us say New Orleans and some of us say New Orleans. Some of us say Oregon and some say Oregon. And some say Boston and some say Boston. Where are you in Australia? What part of Australia? Beautiful place. I can't believe Australia is a place, and New Zealand I haven't been to yet, but boy, would I love to go and take this show on the road to some of these great places, huh? Wouldn't it be cool to do that? To take this show on the road to some cool places. We wanted to do more of that. Matter of fact, we have some shorts videos, and we have some videos on our YouTube channel where we did take you to some places on location, the Jim Masters Show live series on location, places that we've gone to, and we uploaded some videos. You can see those on our channel as well. But I mean, actually do the show on location. How cool would that be? So yes, Sydney and Melbourne. Really nice. Thank you very much, Jen Barry. Yeah, Veronica Lee, I'd love to know what part of, if you don't get a chance to answer tonight, next time you're with us, love to know what part of Australia you're watching us from live. And Maureen says, tomorrow is your Friday, such as the retirement life of working only 3 days each week. Very, very nice. I'm very happy for you, my friend, in Arizona. Sedona is another place that I'd like to get to. Sedona, Arizona, and also Santa Fe, New Mexico. I've been to Albuquerque. I was in a TV shoot, Albuquerque. You've been to both Melbourne and Sydney. That's fantastic. Veronica Lee, another live update from Australia. She's north of Brisbane and Moreton Bay region, Queensland. Lovely sunny day here. You'd be welcomed anytime. Thank you, Veronica Lee. We appreciate that. It's nice to know we have an invite, a lovely invite from Veronica Lee to join her in Australia. Right now, it's 12:30 p.m. Wednesday in Australia. Very nice, just north of Brisbane in Queensland. Jim humbled, I'm thankful. Thank you very much, Jen Barry. Gang, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Jim Masters TV. We also have a Facebook page for this show. It's The Jim Masters Show, Lovity Hall. You can invite us there as well. And if you enjoyed this episode, again, give us a thumbs up. We're doing a little post-show chat. That's kind of nice. Rounding it out to, I guess, a 2-hour live show. Enjoy this episode. Give it a like on our YouTube channel. Leave a comment on the actual YouTube channel as well. That helps us big time. A couple more comments coming in here. Lots of fun. And Jane says, Jane, yes, you're going to be dancing to bed. Yep, we'll have Brian back with more music. My pleasure as well. And can't wait to see. Are you going to show us live when you dance your way to bed in Sweden? Love your show yesterday, too. Oh, the show yesterday. We had a show this afternoon, too, our time, with Paul Byram, who used to be with Celtic Thunder. And he's a brilliant Irish crossover tenor and actor. He was on the show this afternoon. You can see that episode. A lot of people are watching that one. I've known him for years. We've known each other for a long time. I interviewed him initially on PBS television here in the United States. Yesterday was the show with Timmy Woods, that incredible fashion designer from Beverly Hills, California, who designed that Eiffel Tower handbag that's become legendary, that's been seen on Sex and the City with actress Sarah Jessica Parker. Timmy was on live and she showed us a variety of her incredible designs, which were extraordinary, from baseballs to footballs to every kind of thing you can do. And she's got an incredible shop in Beverly Hills, California. And she's a brilliant fashion designer, very creative. And she was our guest yesterday live, and it was terrific, 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 terrific. Good stuff. We really love this. Those bags are amazing works of art, intriguing. Yeah, Timmy Woods, our very special guest, she absolutely loved the time with us yesterday, and we loved spending that time with her as well. And that's what I'm trying to do. We got approached by her team. They watch our series. They love what we do. It's very different. It isn't like everything else that you see on the internet. It's really like a television series. The way we do the show just happens to be broadcast on the internet. And she loved it. She loved being on the show, and we loved her. She was a lot of fun too. She was just real and authentic, and she was just a delight to have on the show. And some of your favorites are going to come back. As I mentioned, we just had Paul Byram. It's his second visit with us here. As I mentioned, Kathy Garver, actress and stage and film actress, television. She was with Family Affair on CBS back in the 60s and 70s. She's coming back on Thursday. Sean Kanan, the brilliant actor from Cobra Kai, and I think right now he's on The Young and the Restless soap opera. He, of course, was on General Hospital. He is coming back on the show as well. And a lot of surprises. But there's some episodes that we've done that are extraordinary. Did you see the episode when Frida Payne was with us, or the Pointer Sisters, or Melissa Manchester? Check those out on our YouTube channel. Those were really fantastic. There's so many great ones. And I look back at some of the earlier ones too, and some of the phenomenal guests that have come through here from all walks of life. And then we've had a couple of guests who passed away since being a guest. And we've done tribute shows as well. I think it's only fitting to do a tribute show when we can to somebody who, graced our presence and joined us, like Hollywood actress Sky Aubrey. She had passed away. The incomparable violinist and fiddler, Alex Depew. We just had a very moving and touching tribute. If you didn't see that episode, matter of fact, his lovely wife and his brother and his family, they were watching that episode. It was very touching, filled with lots of music. And we took clips from when Alex and his brother Zachary and Aria, his wife, were guests on the show. And it was really special. We also did a tribute that's on our YouTube channel to the beloved Ronnie Spector, legendary singer and founder of the Ronettes, with her sister Estelle and cousin Nedra. Legendary, Be My Little Baby, Walking in the Rain, all of those. She actually was a dear personal friend of mine, a family friend as well. Our families know each other. I've known her for a good long time, and we did a tribute to her. And what I did is I shared some of my own personal photos of wonderful times with Ronnie. And again, she was a recent passing as well. And you guys are great. I showed me love Ken, Jim's show. Ken came down and kissed me. Wait a minute. I'm doing all the work and you get the kiss? How's that working out here? I need a kiss. Stat, come over here. Give me a kiss. I'm going to wait until we're off the air. Give me a kiss. That is funny. Funny. Here's some cool shots of Brian that we didn't get a chance to show. There you go. Some cool stuff as well. And while you guys are here, we do have another little clip we can show you of Brian in action that we have sort of set up here. And maybe we'll show just a little of it, and then we'll do a little bit of a wrap. There it is. Let's play a little bit for you. We didn't show this earlier. This is fresh. And enjoy a little bit of this.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Tuesday Night Electronica. How does it sound? Let me know. How's it sound? Well, I'm going to assume it sounds okay. I'm going to keep on going.
I wonder if Jane is still dancing. Is Jane still dancing in her living room, headed to bed in Sweden there, Jane? Just a little bonus encore there for you guys, which we appreciate. Thank you very much. Again, that was Brian Charette, and acclaimed jazz pianist, composer, and band leader, and Hammond organist extraordinaire. Hope you guys enjoyed that little surprise encore. We were going to show that and wanted to wait to the last part to do that. Again, thanks for the great comments. I saw Maureen is inviting us to come to Sedona. She goes, I'll meet you in Sedona. I love that little town. We'll break Italian or Mexican bread. Your choice, my treat. I love that. Absolutely. I love that. And that you're on, game on. Absolutely. That is a date. We must do that. We must do that. Good stuff. And a couple more coming in here. Veronica Lee in Australia says, thinking I'll be lost in replays of your shows for days. Sounds like a fascinating archive. Thank you for all your efforts. Thank you, Veronica Lee. There are over 600 episodes of the Jim Masters Show live archived here on our YouTube channel, with all kinds of themes and all kinds of cool things. And enjoy perusing. I mean, you can go as far back as almost 2 years ago, and it's amazing. And the show has grown and been tweaked and fine-tuned along the way as well, which is great. Jim, you got me kiss anytime, anywhere. Thank you, Jen. We appreciate that. You guys, we're going to wrap up. This was really terrific. A little over 2 hours of good conversation, and we're here live with all of you right now, coming to our headquarters here in the United States, in the greater New York, New Jersey, Connecticut region, between New York and Boston, along the southern New England coast. Keep spreading the word about our show, gang. We love having you here, and you mean a lot to us. Each and every one of you, and you. Don't forget to, again, smile, and don't forget to be good to one another. Help us spread the word about our show. Help us grow. Yeah, my hair is shorter in that picture. You may never know. One of these days you'll tune in and the hair will be short again. Who knows? You're watching our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and sending out a lovely smile to all of you. Don't forget to find your Zen place. Mine, of course, I love the ocean, family and friends. My work in television, radio, stage, and film over the years. Also Zen for me as well. Sending out some levity, some JMS levity to all of you here on the Jim Masters Show live. Good stuff. Jim, all due respect, love you. Thank you, Jen Barry. Right back at you there in the mountains of Allentown, PA. Gang, we're going to wrap up, approaching a little after 9 o'clock Eastern time here. We've got our report from Veronica Lee in Australia that Wednesday is going to be a great day. So make it a great day. And if it isn't a great day for you, for some reason, something trips up, join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, for those watching live, for our very special guests, Lydia, who is the world top model, Ms. 2022, just designated and won that award, and designated that just about 48 hours ago, which is pretty cool. And again, a phenomenal philanthropist and a renowned attorney she is as well. Very successful woman, very inspiring and empowering woman as well, from New York, joining us tomorrow live. For those of you who aren't watching live, you're just watching this in the replays and the archives, stay right there. Another cool episode of the Jim Masters Show comes up for you right here on our YouTube channel. We'll catch you guys later. I'll be right here waiting for you in Lovety Hall, and I hope you'll be here as well. Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, I'll be waiting for you right here on the Jim Masters Show live. You guys take care. Be well. Love one another. And remember, life is precious. It's short. So maximize every second and share that energy, that positive energy, with the world. Zen is Jen. Absolutely. Find your Zen place, folks. I know a lot of you have said the Jim Masters Show is a Zen for you. That's really cool. It's a Zen for me. It's a little crazy in the day with everything else I have, in television, radio, all the shows I do, and getting this show ready, it's a little crazy. But once we turn on the switch and we're on, it becomes Zen for your host, Jim, as well. And you guys help make it Zen. We'll see you on the next one, gang. Okay. Thank you for being with us. We love you all. And have a good rest of your day, wherever it is, whatever time of day it is, around the world. Coming to you from Liberty Hall and the Jim Masters Show live. Be well. Take care. Boy, we hate to say see you later, don't we? These take forever. So I'll just say cheers.